Alright, I think I'm live. If you can hear me, let me know. And let me know if the music's too loud or too quiet. Hopefully my voice is coming through pretty well. Alright, I think I'm live. If you can hear me, let me know. Uh-oh. I can, I've got a feedback loop. Let me know if the music's too loud or too quiet. Where do I click? Hopefully my voice is coming through pretty well. Alright, I think I'm live. If you can hear me, let me know. Uh-oh. I can, I've got a feedback loop. Let me know if the music's too loud or too quiet. Alright, there. I found the tab that was playing the video in the background. There we go. Alright. Yeah, okay, so this is Matt's Hidden Cats. The demo just went live on Steam. The full game's coming out in March. I don't know the exact date yet, but I'm gonna figure that out soon. It's gonna have a small launch discount, and also everyone who owns all the EBF games will also get a discount for completing their collection. So I think it's gonna be a $20 game, but you'll probably be able to pick it up a bit cheaper than that, based on all the discounts. Anyway, yeah, if you haven't played the demo for whatever reason, you can watch me play instead. I'm also going to talk about the game while I play, so hopefully you'll learn something. And even if you have played the demo, maybe you'll still enjoy watching me play. I'm gonna have to pretend to be bad at the game though, because I've already kind of memorized where everything is in the demo. Well, maybe I'll play on hard mode then to make it a bit more interesting. Natalie's been written to be very helpful in this game, and like, she's the biggest fan of puzzle games, so she kind of wants to make sure you're actually playing on hard mode and know how everything works. Alright, so the goal of the game is to find the hidden objects. It's there's a lot of games like it, but I would like to convince everyone that this one's a bit more interesting. You might recognize some EBF characters here, like this guy here. And the slime bunny, of course. You can pop stuff. There's that. Goodbye, bunny. You want to collect all these little gems, of course, because then you can buy stuff. Oh, hard mode. Need extra items to open stuff. There you go. Hammer. Have I tested this game on Steam Deck? Yeah, just yesterday. The save files didn't work on Linux at first, so we had to quickly figure that out. But that should be sorted now, and the game seems to work perfectly on Linux, no problem. As long as you're using Proton, but I don't really know what that is. I don't know anything about Linux except that I have it on the Steam Deck, so that's about it. You can kill a lot of animals, by the way. You might have noticed. The music in this game is actually done by quite a few different artists. Frina's done I think 3 tracks in total, so a fairly small portion of the music. A lot of the music is just like kind of free to use music, but some of it has been like kind of extended specifically for this game. Oh, there's a cat in the box. Is there a fan arts section? Well, there is actually. You might see some of that in later on in this live stream. Because right now, in the first couple of levels, you just find these trading cards, which mostly just feature my artwork. But later on, you'll find arts by other people as well. And if you want to submit your own arts, then you should share it on the EBF Discord and let me know. Or just post it anywhere, really, and make sure I see it. Yeah, some of the soundtracks on Steam, the songs aren't labeled correctly, like the metadata is wrong. I don't know when that happened. It happened a few years ago, actually, and I never fixed it. Like, if you copy the MP3 files to like a different music player, it should work fine, but in Steam, for some reason, they've got the wrong metadata on them, so they have the wrong names and stuff. But I don't think there's anything wrong with the files, I think just Steam's information is wrong. Is there going to be an option to nuke the map? Well, the answer is yes. But the game doesn't tell you how to do it until you've completed everything. But it is, actually, I don't know if it's available in the demo. I'm gonna... maybe I'll try that out later. It might be something you might have to play the full game to find. There's a key. Will there be a mobile port in the future? It might not actually take that long. The prototype already works on Android and it wasn't very much work. You might need like a good phone, like a flagship phone, to make it kind of run at 60 FPS, but even a kind of medium range phone should run the game okay. And that already works. We've got a demo of that on itch.io. And it mostly just needs like some kind of user interface changes to make it better suited for mobile, but it looks like Ruffle works pretty well on Android. Though I probably won't be able to do like in-app purchases, so it's going to be like a free version and a paid version, and nothing in between. It's not going to have like ads and everything else like EBF5 had on mobile. And I don't know about iOS though. I think Ruffle isn't quite ready for iOS yet, so we'll see how that goes. How will I account for different aspect ratio? Blah. How will I account for different aspect ratios on mobile? It's actually pretty easy. Like, the game already supports ultra-wide like resolutions, so most of the game will work just fine on pretty much every aspect ratio you can think of. But you don't really see that on the PC version unless you're running the game on full screen, because the main window is always 16:9. But yeah, it fits pretty well into pretty much any aspect ratio. My monitor's 32:9. It's a ultra wide monitor, and it's the game looks great. Alright, I'll show off how the hint system works before I continue. So, you get these little hint points over here. They regenerate over time, but they also regenerate a bit faster if you're actually playing and progressing. So you're kind of rewarded for playing the game, but also if you just leave it idle for a while, you'll eventually get one. But in the options, you can also change the settings so you get hints faster or slower depending on how many you want to use. So I feel like on the default settings, you get a generous amount. You're probably not going to use them all. Anyway, you can click on this and you can see which part of the level it is in, which is around the middle, like you can see it right here. You can find out if you need to do something, and for this, not really, it's just sitting there. And the final hint is, it'll just take you and tell you where it is. And the last hint is the most expensive, but if you've already used the previous two, then it becomes cheaper, so you don't really, there's no reason not to use the first two hints first. It's just that if you're impatient, you can just do the third one and go straight to the item. So I feel like the hint system is quite generous, and it's better than what other games have because you can kind of choose how much help you want before you just give up. Anyway, let's finish that. Oh, there's a lot of comments to read. Let's see. Will new fan art be added after launch? Yes, very likely. I do hope to keep adding stuff to the game even once it's finished, because I have leftover ideas, and yeah, people will keep making art and stuff, so I would like to add that later. Why are all the cats hidden? Because the cat's body just has a way of doing that on its own. Is the Devourer in the game? Kind of. There's some screenshots that show a bit of that. Someone's having trouble watching the video. I don't know how I can help. It's just a normal YouTube live stream. Will there be an easier way to see the friendship levels of the characters? They're kind of there just as a little gimmick. It's not that important. Like, they don't... The friendship levels, they've only got like kind of really small impact on the gameplay later on. So they're not very important. It's kind of just so you can show your friends and compare what scores you got. But I've noticed some other games do it better. In some games, like when you get a point or lose one, it kind of shows you right away on the character, like a little heart or something. So maybe I can add that. That might be helpful if people are really into that. Maybe I should do that. It wouldn't be too hard. Is this a cheated test? I haven't turned any cheats on. Not all the cheats are available in the demo. There's more cheats later in the full game. Will the videos leading up to the game's release be in the game? No, they're like extra videos just for YouTube. All the cutscenes in the game are completely new. Like the stuff that you've seen on YouTube is just for YouTube. I might make a few more of those. We'll see. Of course, it's harder to translate them if it's on YouTube, because if I do it in the game, like, you know, it can be translated in engine. But the YouTube videos seem to be quite popular. Alright, let's do level 2. Oh, it's nighttime. So here you can see on normal and easy difficulties, it would be a normal daytime scene. It's hard mode. It's nighttime, and some levels just look a bit different on different settings. I'm gonna go into options and make the graphics better though. Ultra. So ultra settings for the graphics make the lighting a bit nicer, but it does take a bit out of your computer, so that's why I don't recommend people use it unless they have a gaming PC. But anyway, the lighting's not very advanced either way, so it's not a big loss if you don't have settings enabled. Is any dialogue missable? Yeah, a few of them are. Not very many though. Uh, Sometimes if you don't have enough friendship points, or if you just do a few things in the wrong order, you might not see some dialogue. But there's not very many you can miss. How many different alternative universes a franchise? I'm not really counting. You can it's up to the kind of players to decide how the games connect to each other, because it's not like I don't put too much thought into it. But if you read the story here, you'll it's not supposed to be an alternative. Kind of just explaining the previous games as being like MMORPGs that the characters play. Just want to say my cousin is majoring in game development because we played EBF4 together when we were 10. That's pretty cool. Guess it's a pretty old game now. All dialogue is missable if you disable it in the settings. That is true. You can, if you're not interested, you can just turn it off. You don't have to listen to characters say. Because, not everyone wants to. And, after the first few levels, it's not really relevant, depending how the game works. Just for flavor. Are parts of Matt's eyeball outside of his head? Because anime doesn't make sense, and some characters just have disfigured bodies. Maybe he's kind of mutated. You know, maybe he's got a tumor in his eye. I don't know. Here's another card. Is there going to be an ability to reread dialogue? Not really. You can delete all the, like, you can reset the dialogue in the delete data menu, and then you can go through all of it again. But it resets everything. Are there references to Godcat in the game? Not in the demo, but full game, yeah. Nice. Playing on the Steam Deck, it was just for the thumbnail. It does work on my Steam Deck, but it's obviously a lot easier to record on my PC. Do I plan on experimenting with the Starling game engine? Probably not. It was really useful for making Bullet Heaven too, but I'm not really planning to make another game like that. But it's good to see that's still supported, so that option's there if I ever need it. I going to? Yeah, the Android version kind of works already. We've got a prototype, but we're not. I'm not prioritizing publishing to Android just yet. That might be a couple of months away, maybe longer. We'll see. But yeah, the game basically works on Android already. Did Matt ever get around to improving the office dais? Well, there's some more cutscenes. I think they play fairly late in the game, so it's not going to appear in the demo. Who's the main artist behind it? Yeah, it's really Anna Greenwood from the hit series Epic Battle Fantasy. You can see here the credits of the game. These are all 100% real. So you can thank Anna for her hard work on the art and animation. Oh, okay. Fancy 2209 Real is here. he did a lot of the work on this on getting this game working as well. He's the first guy under the special thanks section. He did modifications to Ruffle to make it kind of work better as a standalone application, and we got like Steam achievements and like application icons and other stuff working. So that was pretty helpful, and it's kind of been useful to kind of see what Ruffle can do, because I think no one's really published a big standalone game on Steam using Ruffle yet. So if it goes well and there's not too many issues, then hopefully maybe other Flash developers can do the same thing afterwards. There's a lot of translations, as you can see. So quite a lot of people worked on that. Not all the translations are finished yet. Some of them are still getting there. But a lot of them are pretty much done already. Anyway, there you go. Tools used, the most important section. Let's see. Will there be any raccoons in this game? Yep. I saw a strawberry clock. Yep. There's a few Newgrounds references, but I might still add more later. You unlock more cats as you progress in the game. Yeah, you can buy cats because cats don't have rights. You can just. Let's see. Can we afford any cats? Buy stuff. Okay, we have enough money to buy 1 or 2 cats. So let's which cat do you want, chat? Let's pick one from this. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I will wait a moment and Lawrence? Yeah, that's his name. Will there be a translation into Tatar? I don't think so. I mean, I'm into Age of Empires too, but not that much. Oh. I can't tell you which cat's French. Everyone's saying number 5. Yeah, 5's gonna. 3's got a few. I think 5's gonna. Alright, there's cat number 5. So I'm gonna go with this guy for a while. I have 2 money left over. That's not enough to buy anything. Gonna go back to playing. see. This little guy over here, a lot of people said they can't find this one. So that's the kind of sneaky stuff you have to find on hard mode. Hey, the French cat isn't wearing a hat. Not. Muddy somewhere. There he is. Will Matt say anything if you set your name to Akron? Well, a lot of people have asked if, like, enter a name that means something, will the characters react to it? But I didn't want to do that because there's just an endless amount of stuff you could. It would be there would be a lot you could put there, and most people couldn't see. But it kind of be a lot of effort for stuff that most people wouldn't see. Are there any references to Henry Stickmin, world or animator versus animator? And there are not, but there could be. Not too late to add a few. I could do Ed's World. I did meet I met Matt from Ed's World a few months ago, so maybe I could sneak him into the game as a little plushie or something. There's some references to, like, kind of recent indie games, but yeah, I could try to squeeze in some references. Not too late. That bug gave me so much trouble. Yep. I mean, I hope some of the parts of the game are pretty. Oh, I forgot to grab this. Yay! Items with the same color as the background are hard to find. Yeah, I feel like it is easy to rely on color too much. And the kind of sneakier items kind of try to make that not possible. But there's also some silly game modes you can turn on to, you know, make color not available anymore. Funnily enough, I couldn't do black and white mode. That's one thing I really wanted. I wanted to have a filter that just makes the game black and white. But I don't know if there was a kind of, like, cheap way to do that. Without, like, I don't know, just applying a filter to the whole screen kind of took a lot out of your... I don't know, I think the way Flash does it just wasn't very economical. Viable. But we'll see. Maybe there's another way to do it. By the way, what's your name? Alright, what name should I enter? Alright guys, tell me in the chat what name you want and I'll pick the best. How long does it take to make a level for Matt's Hidden Cats? The amount of detail for such a game is ludicrous, and I can't imagine how much time and effort goes into it. Well, it depends on the level, right? The spot the difference levels and the kind of the first few tutorial levels, they're a lot smaller. So those, maybe like half a day for those. Or, yeah, roughly, or maybe a bit more than half a day. Like half a work day, so like, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours. But like the bigger levels, the medium-sized ones would take like maybe 6 or 7 hours, like including a bit of testing and, you know, all 3 difficult. And the larger levels, like the largest ones, they take like 2.5 days, like 15 hours or something. They're pretty massive. So like not only do I have to place like a few thousand items, I then have to double check that everything works properly and all the layers are correct and nothing overlaps in a bad way or anything. And then, you know, maybe a few months later I add more features to the game and then I have to go back to the levels and add more stuff to them. But yeah, that was quite a time-consuming part of the game. Well, everyone thinks I should go with mattress, so I guess that's what we're gonna do. I still don't know what 67 is, so I'm not gonna go with that. I like a work-safe version of 69. Is that what it is? Lance's #1 hater. Yeah, that would have been a good one. How do I become as cool as you? Well, you dress like a pirate and then you do YouTube live streams. Oh, Anna Greenwood is here in the chat. I guess that's a real person. This line here is very important. In every language, it's a different website. So if you're not playing it in English, you might have a funny surprise here. Once you play this game for a long time, you kind of get into the habit of just clicking anything that looks interesting, and you don't really look at what the goals are anymore. Like, I don't need to know what items I'm looking for. If something looks kind of suspicious, it's probably an item worth clicking on. Pro tip, eating food charges your hints faster. There you go, there's a ball in there. So, yeah, eating food is always worth it. And, it's also just fun to do. When, Matt's hidden cats in Swedish. Swedish is probably not gonna happen. We only did, Finnish because Ranya's and she wanted to do it, so that her friends' kids could play it. The shame that Adobe shut down on PC. No, that's good. Since Adobe abandoned Flash, it's other companies have taken over and it's been a lot better. Mushroom. You ate all their food, now they're gonna be hungry. It's true, look at them. They look pretty unhappy. Well, there's one way to deal with this. We gotta sort out the hungry cats. Oh no, I don't have enough money to buy a sword. Oh well, I better find some more money. It's very important that I have a sword. Alright, let's find some more money. Oh, what's this? The different kind of cat. Frin has made a few tracks for the game. About 3. So let's see. Yeah, Frina's going by a different username now, but I don't really know how to pronounce it. But that's Frina over here. So some of the existing EBF tracks are also featured on the radio, but in terms of new tracks, there's only one new track in the demo, but there's 2 more in the full game. How many levels are in the demo? There's 10 levels in the demo. All of World 1 and a little bit of World 2. So it'll take you quite a while to 100% the demo. If you're playing the game for the first time, it might take you 5 hours. Yeah, most Flash games work in browser in Ruffle now. Not all of them, but it's getting there. And even if the game doesn't work in Ruffle, then you can just play it on Flashpoint Archive, which is just like a standalone Flash player app. And I think almost all games work there, unless they had some kind of online-only features, which obviously don't work anymore if the servers have gone down. A lot of people want to make Lance gay, which is pretty funny. Well, the English version of the game is gender neutral, so you, the player, do not have a gender, so you can flirt with any character you want. There's a little bit of that later on, and if people like it, I might add more. We'll see. Oh, hold on. There's something to show you here. If you go to gameplay and enable violent content, then there's something dark here. There you go. This cat wants to die. He's having his final meal and some beer. I really like all your work since the first EBF. Well, that was a long time ago. Yeah, like, a lot of my audience are like, they must have been like teenagers when they played the first game, and now they're in their 30s. I want to see what Ruffle can do that the old Flash player couldn't. Well, Ruffle can play in much higher resolutions without lagging because all the graphics are GPU powered now. So yeah, like Matt's Hidden Cats kind of takes advantage of that. But the downside is that you need a better graphics card, like one that was made in the last 10 years or so. Ruffle also kind of fixes a lot of things that were wrong with Flash Player. Like, the accuracy of the graphics is higher, but you wouldn't really notice unless you were very familiar with Flash. Like, the kind of motion-tweened animations, they're a lot smoother in Ruffle. Like, color gradients are smoother. So, all these kind of little things were a bit jankier in Flash, but now they're, like, smoother. But yeah, you wouldn't necessarily know that unless you were an artist who was using Flash every day. Grant him his wish. The cat? You want me to, what can I do? Look, I can't do anything. Poor cat. Will the game have adjusted regional pricing? I know Steam suggested pricing tends to go crazy on some currencies. Yeah, so the dollar's gotten a lot weaker, I think, since EBF5 launched. So Steam recommended I put the regional prices higher, but I didn't want to do that. So I tried to keep the prices in line with like EBF5's exchange rate. So like the game's about 20% cheaper than EBF5, and that should be true for most currencies. So yeah, I didn't want the exchange rate kind of surprising people with the price too. Oh, there's a lot of chat for me to catch up. Let's see. My dog's my dog's annoying me right now because I think there's fireworks outside. So she's a bit scared and she's trying to get my attention. Let's see. Alright, don't know what any of that means. EBF4 was one of the first games ever when I was little. That's cool. The song playing in the background kind of reminds me of Waltz Number 2 by Elliott Smith. I don't know. It's, I really like the song. It's, let's see, the name is... It's Journey of Hope by Alexander Nakarada. Or is it Relaxing Ballad? I don't know. It's one of those two. So, I really like that guy's music. He does, like, kind of, like, really cheap to license music. So if you want to use his music without crediting him, it's like $20. It's pretty cheap. But, like, I also commissioned him to like extend some of the tracks for me as well. So yeah, I like his music a lot, and there's quite a few tracks from him in the full game. I believe he is from Norway. You notice the game uses right-click inputs. That was actually available in Flash Player for quite a while. Like, it was only really early versions of Flash that couldn't do right-click. So I think ActionScript 3 already had no problems with it. There's too much chat. Okay, I'm gonna try to read faster. Let's see. I think I first discovered the series on one of those hacked games websites with cheats and stuff. That's cool. I remember those. They were pretty funny. You'd basically like have unlimited HP and super high attack power. So it's yeah, those were fun. Why did you give legs to the cats? I don't know. I just tried something different. A lot of them look like they almost have no legs. You know, the legs aren't very detailed. My brother pirated the full version of EBF4 back when it was not on Steam. But years later, I bought all the games. That's cool. I think that's probably true for a lot of players. The mobile version of EBF5 has all the same stuff that the Steam version has. It's just, It's just like sold in a different way. Has game development changed a lot since when I started? Well, for me, in some ways, like, publishing has gotten a lot more annoying because there's like so much more you have to do for every platform now. But like, since I've been using Flash the whole time, that part's not changed very much. Except that, like, there's a bit more trouble getting it to work on every platform now, but it's still not too bad. It's a lot harder to get noticed now because so many more people are doing it. That's for sure. It's hard to say what age my fans are because like Steam doesn't track any of that information, and YouTube tracks it, but not really. I think YouTube just uses like a best guess based on their interests. So like YouTube just guesses that like, oh, everyone who watches video game videos is probably male aged like 20. So I think even YouTube stats are not very reliable, so don't really know. I assume they're mostly men. It's hard to say exactly what percentage, so I don't know. And they're probably a bit older now, but I think I still have quite a lot of younger fans too. What do I think of GOG? I've never really used it much. I think maybe I've bought 1 or 2 games there. It's pretty small, you know, platform, so I don't really see much reason to publish anything there. And my games are DRM free anyway. Fancy wants to know if he should try to add pinch to zoom on desktop for Steam Deck. I don't know. I don't feel it's as important on Steam Deck because you have the extra buttons you can use to zoom. Like, I don't know how good the touchscreen on Steam Deck actually is. So it's alright for like tapping stuff, but I don't know if I would really prioritize adding gesture controls for the Steam Deck. When I was playing it, I was just tapping on the touch screen but using the shoulder buttons and using like one of the analog sticks to move the camera around, and that worked okay. Yeah, the Steam Deck gives you a lot of different control schemes to play around with, so hopefully everyone's happy with something. What's actually in the demo? It's the first 10 levels of the game with like no limitations. You can play every difficulty mode and get like all the, well, you can get the achievements, but they don't unlock on Steam. But yeah, completing everything in the demo will take you 4 or 5 hours. There's quite a lot to do. Alright, let's find some more items. Oh, something's happened here. That's not good. Please answer, what do you think about everyone simping for Lance? This is very important. This is for my school project. What? I don't know, like... The fans can, do whatever they want. I think, I don't know. I don't think I try to make him particularly attractive or anything. He's kind of dumb. But all the characters are, so I don't know. Oh, do I have enough money for a new cursor? Yeah, I got plenty of money. I'm gonna get a sword. I'm gonna... there might be a gun, I don't know. Might save that for another day. Anyway, we got a sword now. Alright, I'm gonna grant the cat his wish. There he goes. Very important mechanic. I was quite shocked to find out that having 9999 HP was the norm in Epic Battle Fantasy. Yep, it was kind of a funny design decision. I think quite a few people had the same impression. Oh, I think I made Lance the easiest to get friendship points with, just because a lot of people will try out the stuff that he recommends like right away, like hard mode and the funny cursors. But I think by the end of the game you can potentially get a similar amount with every character. I think his stuff just kind of shows up earlier if you go looking for it. Are we going to get lore in this game? Yeah, there's plenty of lore. Alright, I'm gonna kill a few more things. What? I can't kill the eggs? Oops. Sorry, cats. Alright. Do I spare these guys? What do you think? Who here should die? Beaver, crab, cats? Let me know. Does Matt like swords because he likes swords, or does he like swords because he can't use a gun? Is he illegally immigrated? Yes. Very, very true. Let's see. Can we make Lance pregnant? Only with, well, there are drawing tools, so you can draw whatever you want. Alright, people are asking me to kill the crab. Lance already looks pregnant. Will this game eventually blah 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 blah. Need to complete Mugenics first. I don't think I think that'll take a while. I think Mugenics is a fun game. Shoot the beaver as well. Alright, crab has to die. Goodbye, crab. Wait, I'm gonna zoom in on his face more. Let's increase zoom limits. There we go. Alright, now we can look him right in the eyes up close while we poke him. There we go. Alright. People didn't like the beaver either. Oh, he was one of the goals. Alright, well, goodbye. Let's see. Everyone's being pretty cringy right now. Will the game have workshop support? I don't really know how to do that. Like, it's got mod support in the sense that it's easy to decompile the game and make changes. That's about it. I don't think Steam Workshop would really work because it's not one of the big popular engines that's easy to make content for. It's kind of niche. Lose the level by killing the goals. Well, I actually made sure that you can't do that. Probably. Maybe. We'll see. Add a fork icon so you can eat the animal. Well, a fork's not a very good cursor though. It doesn't really have a single point. That's the problem. We had some lore for the families of Matt, Lance, and Anna. Will we ever get lore for Natalie's family? Or No Legs? Natalie, maybe? Oh, that's something I'll have to develop a bit more in the future, I guess, because people do seem interested to know stuff like that. About No Legs, well, No Legs, the family he had is probably those other cats that you're killing. He's not very nice to his relatives, I guess. What's the planned release date for this game? Sometime in March. I don't know exactly which day, so I'm gonna try to figure that out soon. It'll be squeezed between the next fest and the Hidden Object Fest, so I'm gonna maybe try get it right in the middle of those two. Will I be adding Halloween and Christmas updates to extend the content? Well, there's already Halloween and a little bit of Christmas stuff in the game, so it's not going to be locked behind any time period. But I might add new levels later, they just might not have any specific theming. Is there a place to buy merch? Not really. But I could release like an asset pack with like high resolution like cats and stuff. Maybe people can print off their own stuff with some local service they like. But I might try to come up with some merch. It's just that I don't really like a lot of the platform. They kind of just like the platform that prints it usually makes most of the money unless I price it really high, and I don't do that. What's the next project after Hidden Cats? It's a secret. Is this a new engine? Kinda. It's just Ruffle. It's just a Flash game running in Ruffle. It runs smooth for anyone with a, I guess, decent graphics card. So, if you don't have that, you might have some issues. Like, I don't think the requirements are particularly high, and also depends on the level. I think the medium-sized levels should run pretty well for most people. They run well on Android as well, so if you've got like you've got a flagship Android phone, there's no problem running a game like perfectly. So on weaker devices, you might have to play at 30 FPS or something. But for this kind of game, that's still okay. It's not really that action-packed. But yeah, the whole game is still just a Flash game. There's no bitmaps. It's all vector art. So you can zoom in as much as you want, and everything stays sharp. Look at these little cats over here. Look how sharp they are. Can I let the cats live? Maybe I will this time. I remember reading a theory that A Breeze of Home was about No Leg's journey and his regret regarding allowing Matt and Nats to kill the members of the Kitten Kingdom. That's some deep speculation. I don't know about that. Maybe. I don't know if EBF 2 is canon. I don't even know if EBF 3 and 4 are canon. Probably only this game is canon. No Legs plushies when. Thing is, right, every company that sells plushies, they just sell stuff that China makes for a higher price. So I would almost rather that like some Chinese website like Alibaba just makes plushies without my permission. It's gonna be the same thing, it's just gonna be a lot cheaper, you know? So you're gonna get a better deal if they do that. Like, why would you pay like $30 for a Chinese plushie in America when you can just go straight to a Chinese website and pay like $5 for it, you know? These cats aren't very hidden. Well, some of them are. Let's see. Look at this cat over here. He's hidden. And he's gone. Do I like a red mage? I haven't thought about a red mage for like 10 years or something until people started drawing him. Is this more of a spin-off where characters are retired? They're not retired, they're just not playing video games right now. They're making video games. Yeah, it's quite a relaxing game, but I made sure that you can actually play it quite fast if you want to. So if you're impatient, you can just click everything, you can use as many hints as you want, and you can rush through the game pretty quickly if you want. And if you're more relaxed and slow, then that works too. So I'm hoping that the game kind of accommodates you no matter what speed you want to play at. Do I have any regrets I had when making the EBF games? No, not really. I think they turned out pretty well. I think maybe if I knew EBF 5 would have such like longevity, if like people would be playing it so long, maybe I would have like added more lore to the game, maybe fleshed out some NPCs a bit more. Because yeah, I certainly could have done that. Like added more obscure stuff for people to find, like, you know, way later. But it's not a big deal. For the most part, I think EBF 5 is pretty good. Like, the interface is pretty bad, I guess, but that's something that it takes a lot of effort to make a good interface, and it's not very fun. So I guess maybe those two things: bad interface, and well, a lot of people are used to it by now, but new players say it's a bit weird. We grope the cats. Well, you can hurt them. Where is No Leg's favorite spot to be pet? Well, No Legs has legs now. Yeah, I guess technically No Legs isn't even in this game. What about other merch like posters? That would be cool. Well, the game has a very high... The game's got a really high-res wallpaper in the installation folder. You could print that off if you want. There's the asset pack that I made has a lot of like images that would make cool posters, but they're not high res enough. I don't know. I suppose it could happen, but I'm not. It's a pretty low priority for me anymore. I don't have a lot of great artwork that's made specifically for that purpose. So ideally, you'd want to like ask fan artists to make that kind of stuff, because a lot of them would do a better job, I think. And I have no problem with fan artists like their EBF art. That's totally fine. But I don't think anyone's really done that yet. Why are the cats hiding? Well, they're hiding probably because I'm killing them. See? They don't want this to happen, so... These ones didn't do a very good job hiding, though. I cannot imagine Massey is retiring from adventures. Yeah, I guess. Which of your games is your personal favorite? Hard to say, because I can't play them properly. Like, I can't play them like a normal person. I kind of play them without paying attention, because I already know what everything does. I guess we'll see. I think a lot of them have aged pretty well, and they're still fun for me to play. Will objects be fixed or random in a level of the game? A lot of people have asked, like, can I do randomly generated goals? And I don't really know what the best way to do that would be. I think it is possible, I just don't know if it would be as fun as the main game, you know? I suppose one option would be to just take everything that's in the level and just make random things the goal, and if you're familiar with the level, you'll like... This slime could be a goal. But I think after you play the level, you'd get kind of familiar with it, and it would stop being interesting, but maybe for some people that would still be fun, I don't know. Goals would have to be stuff that, you know, only appears once, though. I think there are ways to kind of maybe make that kind of gameplay work. It just wouldn't be as polished as the main levels, I think. Alright, I'm gonna finish this level and try to move on to the next one. Is there gonna be like DLC, like extra soundtracks and stuff? No, you can't buy the soundtrack for this game because a lot of the music is like freely available already. Like, I think Frina might do a little like kind of mini list of tracks you can buy on Bandcamp or something if you want to support her specifically. But all the other music, there's not going to be a soundtrack for the game. Because most of it's not been made specifically for the game. But despite that, I am pretty happy with the music that I picked. I think a lot of it fits really well. Stop killing the cats. Kiss the cats instead. There's no way to kiss. Maybe that's an oversight. Has anyone leveled past level 40 in EBF 3? Ooh, I don't know. I think some people have grinded for quite a while. I hope someday we get a Friday Night Funkin' mod for EBF. I think a couple of people said they were trying to make one, but I don't know if any of them actually finished. Like I've seen a few concepts. Will Snowflake be in this game? Maybe. He might be one of the cats you can like later. I ever tried any EBF mods? Not yet. I'm kind of waiting for them to be like kind of fully presentable. But I think some of the mods do have enough content where I could live stream them soon. So I might do that later. I don't understand what some of these comments are. Okay. I think Friday Night Funk and EBF mods should use the Art Attack style. That'd be kind of funny. You might have to get the original artist in on that one. I didn't make it. Why did the main music for Matt's Hidden Cats change between demos? Well, the original music was not made for this game. It was for Cat's Cafe, which came out ages ago. So the track that you can hear now is new, and Frina made it specifically for this. And it's this is the kind of shorter version. We're kind of trying to make a longer version. Well, but it's already pretty catchy. I haven't seen Strawberry Clock referenced in a long time. Yep. Strawberry Clock was just a funny item to draw, so it's a pretty good addition. Does the ultra hard mode code work in the demo? Do you mean... Let's see if I can remember that. Oh, I've been hearing a lot of violent sound effects coming from here. Sorry. That was the stabbing. Epic Battle Fantasy mentioned. Alright, let's try a cheat code. Type something in, let's see if it works. Oh look, the game is evil now. A little bit harder to play that way, hold on. Turn me out to turn off, type me out to turn cheats off. Let's try easy mode. So yeah, without colors, the game is a little bit harder. I know everything is by memory for the first world, but if I didn't, this would be pretty rough to play. What? You guys are surprised? You didn't know about this? There he is. Strawberry Clock. Yeah, it's the most evil game mode. It's pretty hard to play this way. I don't really recommend it. I wanted to do a black and white version, but Flash's features make that kind of sketchy to do. So I just did this instead. But there are like third-party kind of apps you can use to add filters to the game. I was kind of playing around with that for a while. I think one was called Shader Glass. So you can make the game look black and white or like VHS and stuff like that, and it looks pretty cool. You know, I kind of wish I could build that into the game, but I think it would be pretty complicated to do that. But anyone who wants to do it can just download the app for free and do it themselves. But there is a kind of static kind of VHS, no, not VHS, like kind of CRT filter in the game, but it's not that convincing. It's kind of a simple effect that I made. What happens if you use the Pepsi filter with this? Let's find out. Let's skip this dialogue. Let's go to, where is it? This one here. So Pepsi filter also messes up the graphics, except the Pepsi filter also affects the user interface, whereas the cheats code doesn't. Let's see how that looks. Hey, look, it kind of brings the colors back a little bit, doesn't it? And this does not look very nice at all. Like, looks like it's been nuked. Alright, let's get out of that. Hey, Mattress, our programmer Lance wants to talk to you. That sounds done. Probably not important, but do you want to hear what he has to say? Alright guys, what should I say? I'd love to meet him, or I don't care. Oh, people are kind of confused by the color scheme. Yeah, I'm messing around with some of the cheats in the game, and it's not the preferred way to play. Can we have the Hungarian language? I mean, I considered Hungarian. I think it's, in terms of popularity, it's similar to Czech, but I have someone in the family who speaks Czech, so I decided to do Czech instead. So, sorry to Hungarians. Also, a lot of Romanian people also asked about relations. That's something that I kind of considered a little bit as well. But I think I'm getting to the point where I think I have enough languages and doing maybe more work than. Flash has shaders. It just uses Adobe's own shader language. Okay, well, maybe I can try that later. Because if I could get some shaders working in Flash to add black and white mode, I think that would be pretty fun. But also, it might require, it might have higher graphics card requirements, and a lot of people, a lot of people look at this game and they're like, oh, it's a kind of childish game. It doesn't need a good graphics card, but it kind of does. It doesn't have to be great, but it has to be a card that was made in the last 10 years or so, and some people want to play it on an even older computer than that, so it's whatever. It's just because Flash worked on pretty much anything. It just ran very slowly sometimes, but it did work. So people are asking, like, why doesn't this game work on a 10-year-old computer? And it's mostly down to it's all graphics card. Alright, what are people saying? Yes, yeah. Hey, meet him, okay. I'd love to meet him, fine. Alright. It looks like our new test subject is clever enough not to take your opinion seriously. Wow. Lance is here to tell me about hard mode. Well, I already tried it out. So he's a bit slow, isn't he? I can tell him, I want to suffer, or I've already tried it. Oh, that's excellent. Exactly what I wanted to hear. The main issue with shaders is they only work on images. You need to render the game to bitmap to apply the shaders to that. Yeah, I think that might not work that well. Yeah, I think adding the shaders to this game in that way might be kind of more trouble than it's worth, just to get black and white working. But yeah, anyone who wants to play the game in black and white should try it with shader glass. I think that's quite a challenging way to play. My PC is older than me, 19-year-old computer, and it runs all the EBF games really well. Fair enough. I mean, like, yeah, EBF is CPU power. CPUs have gotten that much faster. They've gotten faster. Still be able to play Flash games, even if it's in a lower resolution. Okay, I'm gonna turn these cheats off. Alright, let's get rid of Pepsi filter. There we go. And let's try another cheat. What do we have? Alright, I typed in a cheat that should make it rain, so let's do that. There we go. It's raining. And it's also sunset at the same time, so that's kind of interesting. But yeah, there's cheat codes that you gradually learn about that change the weather and do other little silly things. So if you're replaying the game and you like the art style and you like the ambience, you can pick your favorite stuff. So if you like rain, you can make it rain in every level if you want. So I think some people appreciate that. Yeah, British weather. That's the cheat code. I think actually it's British climate. Type that in, then you get rain. You can also get thunderstorms. That's an option too, but maybe thunderstorms aren't as relaxing. Is there a list of cheats somewhere? Well, I'm sure someone will make one once the game is out, but the cheats are supposed to be kind of hidden, and the characters tell you about the cheats, as you play the game. But that's one of the things that's hidden behind the friendship barrier. So some of the cheats you will only learn about if the characters like you. So that's why you told. But that's the only reason. That's about it. But yeah, even if you don't get the cheats in the game, you can still use them by using a. You can cheat the cheats, so to speak. And there are some cheats that actually just unlock everything. Well, if maybe you accidentally deleted save file or something. But for most people, I think that's not really how they want to think. This tune doesn't quite fit the vibe, I think, of the rain. I could just have no music. It doesn't hurt to try adding black and white mode. Well, that's something we could try. The Pepsi filter was kind of like temporary because what I actually did when I put there was black and white. So maybe I'll replace it. And on mobile the filters don't quite work correctly because they use blend mode properly. But that's okay because they don't have to use blend mode. Graphic, that's fine as well. It's like close enough. It doesn't really. Does the Konami code do anything? Well, there's no. The game's not really made for a controller, so you have to type in the codes on a keyboard. Lance has horror cheats. Yeah, there are some. I don't know if they'll work in the demo. Is it possible to get locked out of friendship? Like if you accidentally yeah, it is. So you can permanently be a bad friend forever. Yeah, you can even have negative friendship as well. I'm sure some people will try to probably see how low they can go. I think it would be actually be quite hard to kind of get the maximum or the minimum level of friendship. Is that actually what Pepsi does to you? Yeah, of course. But Pepsi contains a lot of strange chemicals. Will there ever be an EBF5 version 2? There was. Uh, everyone wants to be rude to Lance. Yeah, that's fun too. Oh look at this. This cat is trying to kill this other cat. Which cat should we save, or should we kill the house? All right, take your bets. Who dies and who? Maximum relationships are yeah, like sometimes some of the conversations require you to choose one character over the other, so you can't get the maximum friendship with every character at the same time. But also, you don't have to. The requirements to get all the cutscenes are kind of low. It's not. Attack the top cat. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye. Need a bomb. Let's see. Oh, I already know. I know where everything. Or matrix grayscale. I could try looking into grayscale again, but I think the ways I tried it kind of recolored the whole level. It was a bit unrolling. But I can try again later. I think like the only way I learned how to do it in Flash was the filter, and that while it would have worked okay, like, you know, on an image that was just the size of the screen, applying it to the whole level, which is way bigger than the screen, it was just. All right, I'm gonna put it back on. The gem. 5. Is there gonna be a overall story to the game? Not really. It's kind of just the characters talking to you. Like, you can kind of play it on and off, and you don't really have to remember what came before. Do I plan on porting some of the new features from this game into EBF5? Well, ideally, those games would run in Ruffle so that they have better performance. I think EBF4 almost works in Ruffle. I think EBF5 is still missing a few features. So yeah, that would be a good kind of performance boost for the game for like people who want to play them in higher resolution. So those games are only 30 FPS, so it's not going to make much of a difference as it makes here. No, the other filter effects, they just use the blend mode, which just lets me put like a graphic over the screen rather than apply it to the whole level. It's I don't know, it seems to just perform better that way. I guess I don't know if the blend modes are the same in terms of the engine. Click on the cat with the top hat. Oh yeah? This one? This one here?
Meow. 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 Meow.
Is it canon to the EBF timeline? I think so. Only the newest game in the series is canon. No, none of the other ones are canon. Do they use generative AI to speak to you? Who does? Anyone who uses AI to write messages to you would not be your friend. Will full version have previews for cursors and other cosmetics? It's kind of hard to tell which filters and interfaces. Well, no, the stuff you buy in the shop is supposed to be a surprise. You know, it's like you have some clue of what it might be, especially for the cursors. But it's kind of like halfway between a slot machine, not like a gachapon. You know, you're kind of not supposed to know what it is exactly. But some people have said they would rather see it before they have it. But I don't know. I think seeing it is half the fun. But yeah, for filters, there's no way of knowing which. So it's a bit, you know. I think I put the most useful filters at the start. So this one just makes the screen darker, and this one makes sleepy orange mode to help you out in the evening. There's mode, extra bright mode. Well, they're not that exciting. But I think if you have like requirements for your eyes and the graphics to be a little bit easier to look at, then maybe filters would be helpful for that. Oh, I could try a new user interface. I think I remember which ones are fun. Let's. Oh, I don't have. Oh, they're all 50. I have more money then. Would it be possible to add equipment remix for the older games? I don't really. I think that was the feature that was kind of tricky to add. It was hard to test to make sure it actually worked correctly. You had to play through the whole game and make sure the right amount of equipment showed up. So I don't think I would go through that again. Do you think Matt would get along with Boyfriend from Friday Night Funkin'? I have no idea. I think those characters are probably a bit younger, and maybe they would be a bit annoying for the EBF characters. I don't know. For filters, can you just get rid of the background square so you can only see the drawing? Would be easier to get. Let's see. Oh, yeah, for these. I see what you mean. I guess that's an option. I could try that. I think the square, the kind of border around it is useful to kind of show the color that it gives you, but yeah, I could do something like that if people really. But there's not that many filters, so it's not as important down here. Is Carly Brace still dead in my universe? Probably. Oh yeah, I don't know if I've mentioned it in a while, but the demo for this is available on Steam. It came out yesterday. So you should go play it. And then add it to your wish list as well, so you get notified when the game comes out in March. Have you ever thought of adding new features to EVF5, like bringing Power Blast back? No, I think EVF5 has plenty of content. I don't think I would add anything more. Except maybe like a maintenance update to get it working in Ruffle or something. Well, I think overall it's aged pretty well, and there's nothing that it really needs to make it keep going. Is No Legs allowed to drink alcohol? Let's. I think there's cats drinking alcohol in this, or maybe it's something. But those. Do I like D&D? I played a campaign. That was it. That was enough for me. Like, it was fun, but I don't want to do it regularly. But will this game be able to run on Newgrounds? I hope so. Like, it works in the browser version of Ruffle pretty well. I think the only issue is like that some of the sound effects are maybe a bit delayed in that, but like it kind of depends. But I think it should totally work on Newgrounds, and I hope to do that soon. All the music is listed in the credits, so there's a few different composers this time. This just covers the tracks that are demo, so there's going to be a lot more later. Some of them are made specifically for this game, but most of them are just like kind of public music. I figured like a lot of people might play this game without any music at all, because it's got like a good ambience going on if you like just listening to the rain or something. All right, one more cat, and he's right here. When you click on the gems, you can only see what they look like once. Yeah, that's something like I'm trying to figure out what the best design is for that. So I might change how that works. I like use brain, of course. They're very much alike. There you go. You shouldn't do that to people. Oh, he's fine now. I don't think anything was particularly hard about making EBF5, it just took a long time. Like, all the parts aren't very complicated. Does poking them decrease your friendship level? In some cases, yeah. Anna Greenwood never knew about this? Wow. What's been your biggest inspiration over the years? Well, last year it was Expedition 33 and Elden Ring. Those were pretty good games. Like, I haven't made anything inspired by them, but maybe in the future. Do I make a living from the games, or is development more of a hobby or side project? Well, if you look at the stats on Steam, like the number of reviews the game has, you can see that quite a lot of people have bought them. Doing all right. But yeah, I'm full-time game developer. I hope you will make a $10 million in. Not quite that much. Not happened yet. I don't think I've done any Elden Ring references yet. It's the art style is completely different, so I don't think I would reference it in that way. But like in terms of like mechanics the game has going on, maybe some will inspire future work. Oh, some of the weapons and armor in the Elden Ring. Yeah, maybe those will inspire some of my design. The arts for this game didn't take that long to do. Like the drawing process wasn't too time consuming, but like putting together all the levels afterwards, I think that ended up taking the longest. But like yeah, drawing a tree wasn't too hard. It's not that detailed, but then like arranging all the trees in a nice way, that took some time. There he is. How near are you for our release dates for Matt's Hidden Cats? Hopefully sometime this week I can figure it out. I need to just double check the calendar. But it's probably gonna be like around the middle of... We'll see. There's some fan arts. You can collect quite a few of these later on. Let's see. Oh, what have we got so far? We got trading cards, stickers, one sticker I get. A lot of empty spaces. We haven't found very much at all. There we go. We got 2 fan arts so far. But yeah, look, there's a lot of stuff to collect, and I might add even more later. There's usually, you know, 1, 2, or 3 per level. The bigger levels usually have more. Yeah, some of the animal sounds are people. This is my favorite Pokemon. I haven't played like a real Pokemon game in a long time. Finds the secret closet where he keeps all of his weapons and figures from past games. I don't know. I feel psychic damage whenever I spot something and Matt goes for it. Yeah, that's bound to happen when you're watching someone play this kind of game. I'm not really playing properly though, because I know where most of the items are. Though, in this level, maybe I've forgotten something. I know the swan is here, I know the cat's here. Oh, the acorns. Those are tricky. One here. Squirrel is here. See, I know things. But yeah, in terms of live streaming, it might be a fun game to watch people play if they're actually playing it for the first time, because then you could have your audience kind of help out. I think that's probably the best way to do it. So I'm looking forward to seeing if anyone does that. Where is the... Oh, probably here, but an axe. Yeah, clicking everything is a valid strategy as well. You unfortunately got informed about Shadow Realm for this level, so I'm seeing this level for the first time. Yeah, I don't recommend using the cheats on your first playthrough. You might kind of ruin the vibe of some levels, you know? Where is the beaver? Yeah, where's the axe? Never mind, I got it. Alright. Where is the weasel thing? That might be one that I've actually forgotten about. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done a live stream, huh? I try to do more since they're fairly popular. Like, a lot of people seem to show up, and like the longer it is, the more views it gets overall. I just have to find a way of playing something where I don't get tired too. Like, yeah, it gets hard to do it for more than 4 hours. You know? My voice starts getting tired, and also my energy just gets lower. But also, it's hard to kind of figure out what time I should stream. Because the audience can be pretty different depending on what time of day I do it. I don't really know what the best times are, and I don't really pay attention to that kind of thing anyway. I kind of just do it whenever it suits me. Have I ever played Genshin Impact? No, I'm not really interested in that type of game at all. I don't actually know what you do, I just know that it has a lot of microtransaction. I don't know if the game part is actually fun or not, but just on account of it having, you know, been built around microtransactions means I'm never even going to try it. Oh, there was a gem in the water. Someone asked this earlier, but how much time does it take to make a level? And once all of the assets and programming is done, maybe about 5 or 6 hours for an average size level, and way more for some of the bigger ones, and maybe a bit less for some of the smaller. But yeah, that assumes all the art's already been done and it's just arranging everything. I can try different cheats. What do I have available? I don't actually know what all the cheats are called right now. Let me quickly check in my files. Ooh, well, what was I doing during the Elder Scrolls horse armor controversy? Yeah, I remember that, but like it seemed kind of funny at the time, but now every game's doing stuff like that, so that's kind of sad. Let's see, what cheats do I have? Not that many. Praise the sun. Always dark. Let's try that. I see you like the rain. Quite relaxing. Anna likes the rain. There's another cheat you can use. Try thunder and lightning to summon a mighty storm. Yeah, I guess that works, but that's a bit similar to... I'm gonna try the dark. There you go, look, it's dark now. Pretty cool. So that might be a fun thing to try later. If you've already played the game, you can come back to every level and play it at nighttime. It'll obviously work in some levels better than others. But for the most part, this already works. I just need to kind of add, well, the kind of windows in the houses don't really light up very well. So that's not a big deal. It's not really intended to to play every level and kind of every time of the day. Just a little extra feature that I think some people might like. I can go check out how some other levels look. Oh, and my mattress. I think this is the first time that Anna has seen me. I'm kind of triggering the dialogue in a funny order because I'm doing a lot of silly stuff. Yeah, this is a Flash game. It's just the SWF file. What's my suggestion for learning how to make games? Well, just do whatever you find the most fun, I guess, and maybe it'll eventually lead to something, and maybe not. I didn't really put effort into learning. I just did trial and error pretty much the way. I just learned stuff as I needed to know it. There's a lot more resources now, though, and there's also a lot more competition. So good luck out there. But I guess you should probably just do it as a hobby and just do whatever you find fun. Chances of it becoming a career aren't great. It's pretty hard right now. There's so many people trying to make games. Does it take more work to make levels fit the cheats, or is it more that you made some filters that get applied over all the text? There's a little bit of work involved for some of them. So, the Shadow Realm one, every item needs to be has the right properties set for it to work correctly, and in most levels they mostly work right away. A few objects where the effect is not applied properly, so I have to double check all that stuff. In some of the levels you might find that there's one or two items that aren't affected by the heat, and that's something I might fix later, but it's a pretty low. For the nighttime one, I just have to make sure that there's a glow added to light source, because all the lamps and windows will kind of turn on by default. They're programmed to do that, but I need to add the glow effect on my own. Well, yeah, it's a little bit extra work in some cases, but some of the stuff the rain and the fog and all that works the same in every. So there's no extra work for them. Is there a cheat code for a night level where only the area around the cursor is lit up? Actually, there is, but it's not available in the demo. That's something I've kind of saved for the final game because I don't know if it's quite ready yet. I suppose I could have included it. Maybe I will when I update the demo. It's not... It doesn't look particularly good. I don't know, visually it's not that interesting in most levels. It works in some levels, like caves and stuff. But I think it just doesn't look right in a lot of levels. But maybe if you think it makes the gameplay more... That's an option. Gun cursor. Will there be a speedrun category? Oh well, that's the question. What does my dog want? Ethel, what do you want? What are you doing? What do you want? Is it time for food soon? I think I need to feed my dog soon. I might take a little break and then come back. That actually makes sense. I'm gonna take a 5-minute break and then I'll keep chatting. I'm gonna put something nice on screen before I go. So. Oh wait, this level's already nighttime in this level anyway, so the cheat doesn't do anything here. And I don't want to talk to you right now. Let's put something new. There we go. Alright, I'll be back in 5 minutes. It's me, I am back. The dog has been fed. He was very sad. The dog actually recorded some clips for this game, so some of the dogs have her voice. Let me see if I can find them. I think this brown dog here is her. This one as well. Yeah, so she voiced a few of the dogs. Whatchamacallit. I would have tried recording more dogs, but a lot of them aren't smart enough to do it. They have to be able to speak on command. I don't pay the dog because she cannot use currency for anything. This level looks pretty nice in the dark. Everyone's just drinking at night. These cats have alcohol. Very normal. What? I can't destroy this? That's an oversight. Oh. Yeah, this music works now. Red mage dog? Where? Missed that? Probably. There's actually a quite hard achievement here for finding all the games consoles and turning them on. And there's no hint system to help you with that. Swan or duck. Yeah, it's a duck. Oh, look, here. You can see one of the graphics that doesn't work correctly. So, that's just a case of it not being the right type of object. I just gotta tick a box, basically, for that thing. The middle of the level, there's a red mage dog? Where? Somewhere. Oh, there he is. This one. Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Since you learn cheats through the dialogue, would there be some kind of log for cheats or something to keep track of them? No, not really. You gotta write them down or remember them. I might eventually add some kind of user interface for that stuff, but only if people ask for it. I could, well, I could even put it in the gallery, I guess. I could have a piece of paper that has cheats written down. So that's an option. That might be the best way to do it, to be honest. But it's also not that simple. Like, the cheats you get also kind of depend on what you answer in some of the conversations, so it might be kind of tricky to track which ones you've actually seen. But maybe I'll come up with something later. Alright, what am I still missing? Oh, I got the next world. Well, maybe I'll go later. I'm gonna collect a few more things. This dog has had a bad time. Look at this. That's just something bears do, you know? Alien! There's a meme that I think people have forgotten about already. That alien the guys found in Mexico or something. Well, that's him. I don't know if people will remember that reference. Mushroom, very normal. Nintendo Wii U, best console, better than the Switch. Switch is just a portable Wii U, basically. Worm? Little tiny worm. Bottle of cola. Uh-oh, here we go. Dead. How do I feel about Full Metal Alchemist? I used to really like it, but when I tried to watch it recently, it's not aged well for me. I feel like the comic relief parts are too loud and annoying for my taste. Like, that was fine when I was a teenager, but now it's just a bit too childish for me. Which is a shame, because I'd love to, like, watch it for the story. Oh, did I accidentally use a hint? The tree bosses in EBF5 are just named after the trees in Lord of the Rings. They're not the like design of the bosses isn't really inspired by anything. I think you might find that a recurring item that's very hard every time is this clover over here. So good luck with that one. remember where the bacon is because I played through this not that long ago. Next level, might as well. Very important announcement. Look, I just lost a friendship point. Oh, how does the castle look at? Hello, Maple Story Mushroom. I played that a long time ago. I think you might recognize this track because it's been I think it was used in a video by CGP Grey a long time ago. It was so catchy, I had to use it. Ooh, look, candles. Yeah, I think this level's the one that took a little bit extra work to make it look good in the dark. Because I had to make sure that all the candles kind of lit up nicely like this. Yeah, this track is by Kevin MacLeod. I found, like, some of the other artists that are featured in this I originally found featured on his website. But yeah, if anyone finds, like, the music too repetitive because they've heard it before, they can always, you know, change it to something else on the radio. Like this one, which they've obviously never heard before. Look, it's Dadish from the indie game, and he's looking for his son. His son's up here. Will the game be available on mobile as well? Yeah, it's we got a prototype working on Android, so I think Android is viable. We don't know about iOS yet. I think Ruffle maybe isn't quite as reliable on iOS just yet, but maybe someday. Are the cats racist? Well, the cats have many colors, but in some levels they are racist towards dogs. But in some levels they get along with the dogs. This is one of the levels where they do not get along. So, as you can see... Oh, I need a cannonball. Okay. Let's take a look. Let's find a cannonball. Alright, let's see what the cats do with the cannonball. Well, that wasn't very nice. But to be fair, look, the dogs are fighting back. See, they're breaking down the castle. Look, it's a cat. Not a reference to anything in particular. What are they doing? Where's my French cat hiding? Chicken! Here's another dog that has to die. Bam. Goodbye. What was the hardest language to implement in the game? Chinese and Japanese caused me some troubles because they don't have spaces. So at first, Ruffle didn't have the features to deal with that, so the word wrap didn't work correctly. And then some of my extra text features also didn't work right without spaces. So it was quite a pain trying to fix that. I think in the future I will make I'll make my text system a bit less complicated. Is it random what animals you can enrage? I think at some point there was a plan, but I forgot what the plan was. I think I basically have to enable the feature for every specific animal, and I just maybe forgot to do some of them. Well, you get an achievement for that one. Insects are safe. Oh, I guess birds are evil as well now. Yeah, look at that. Throwback to a popular RPG. How much planning do I do? Oh, this game was harder to plan because I didn't really know how complicated the final game would be, and I kept adding more features. So this was definitely one of the games that was quite poorly planned out. And some of the features, if I knew how much work they would end up being, I wouldn't have done them. Like, the thing in particular that causes a lot of trouble is the changing the skin of the mascot, because the little mascot cat appears in so many different positions, and sometimes he's wearing hats, sometimes he has a different face, and getting all of that working with all the other cats that you can enable turned out to be a pain, and it still doesn't completely work. There's some cats you can select where it kind of messes up their face a bit, and that's been very annoying to kind of figure out the source of that problem. What's my favorite manga? Well, my favorite one in the last couple of years was Goodnight Kun-kun, which is a pretty depressing read, but I thought it was pretty powerful. think what has been the most difficult game to make? Like making games isn't really difficult. Time consuming. Like most of the stuff you need to know, you can just kind of look it up as you need to do it. You know. Well, that's assuming you already know, like, how to program stuff. I guess if you have no programming experience at all, then you have to get some experience first. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's not hard, assuming you've already, you know, been drawing for a long time and you've already, you know, learned programming somewhere. Yeah, after you know how to do everything, it's not too hard. Nice sound effect. I didn't really read a lot of manga until recently. Like, I used to just watch a lot of anime, but now that I try to get away from the computer more because I'm spending too much time in front of it, like, it's nice to read something quick. And manga has the advantage over anime that you can kind of read it at your own pace. Like, anime is sometimes too slow paced, and, you know, like, obviously Dragon Ball Z is the best example of that, where it takes ages for anything to happen. But a lot of anime, I feel like I'm just waiting for things to progress. And if you're reading a manga, you can just skim through the pages faster, so you don't have that problem. So that's why I've been enjoying it lately. But, yeah, I've been watching a lot of spooky... Not watching, I've been reading, like, horror stuff. I think that, what was it? Uzumaki, Spiral, and the other stuff by that artist. I think the one with the fish robots was called Geo. That was pretty good. Currently, I picked up the first volume of Samurai 8, which is made by the guy who made Naruto, and it's interesting so far. It's got cool art style. Weird stuff is happening in there. You like the cat that screams. Yeah, that one's it's Ranya's favorite as well. But you never know which cat's gonna scream until you click on them all. I kind of like don't even pay attention to that stuff anymore because I'm so used to all the sound effects. I've been talking so much I've barely found anything in this level. I guess I found a lot of gems. Oh, found a key, and I get another key. Then I take this key, and I put it in here. And then I get another key, and then I can take that key, and then I can put it in here. And then this key, you know, I take that, and I take it all the way over here, and I put it in here. And there's my French little cat, Le Baguette from Expedition 33. Have I read Hidamari's sketch? I watched the anime like 20 years ago or something. Like it was fine. I think that's the kind of like slice of life thing that I might appreciate more now that I'm old. I think like slice of life didn't really do that much for me when I was a teenager. But I did still try watching quite a bunch of them. I'm also reading Yotsuba right now. I've got the first 5 volumes, and that's quite fun. That's a good one. The Chain of Keys was funny. Yeah, sometimes I try to do interesting stuff with the keys, but there's, I think, nothing quite as interesting as that one. You think you get the right key, and then it just keeps going. Is Dragon Ball Z Kai better at pacing? Oh yeah, I watched that as well, I remember. I think what disappointed me about Dragon Ball Kai is that they also kind of deleted some of the filler episodes that I remember that were kind of interesting at the time. But I guess that's kind of what you get when you cut down a piece of media. You also cut down stuff that someone liked. I recently watched a lot of the Star Wars films, and I watched the edited versions of the prequels, the prequel trilogy. I watched a fan edit that cut out a lot of the stupidest scenes, like a lot of Jar Jar Binks was cut out, and they made the movies a little bit better, but they were still pretty bad. But they also cut out some of the most memorable scenes, like Anakin, don't do it, I have the high ground. That was cut out, and that's the only thing anyone knows about those films. They also cut out Yoda's lightsaber fight because they said it wasn't in with his character. That was kind of sad. But I guess, like, it makes sense if you were trying to actually make the films a bit more serious. But even with that, they're still pretty silly. The hitbox is not very good here. I could maybe improve that later. I cleared the demo version on all difficulties in about 4 hours. I plan to try as many challenges as I can. This game, my parents will enjoy as well. Yeah, I hope so. I hope a lot of people give this game to their parents and to their kids, because it's DRM free. You can make a copy if you want, and that's fine. And I think pretty much anyone can play this. But a lot of hardcore gamers will be like, it's too boring for me. Well, maybe you'll get COVID or something and you'll play something. And it's not even that easy. It's just peaceful and slow paced. It can actually be quite tricky if you don't. Like finding stuff like this that you can move this crate. Sneaky. Star Wars prequels still have more soul than the sequel. They like at the time they were fun because they had really good CGI. That's aged. Well, the first of the like Star Wars Episode 7, I think, is one of the best films. I quite liked it. I wouldn't say it was a great film. It was better than one. But 8 and 9 were terrible. They were ridiculous. Still had good graphics and some good actions. The writing was. That sheep has a cool hat. Oh, this one. How does it make that sound? I don't think that was intentional. That's kind of. Some of the weird, creepy stuff in EBF games are the most memorable parts. I wanted to make a horror game. No, not really. I don't think I could really offer anything that hasn't already been very well. And I think horror is more effective than expected. Basically, more fun to just include a bit in other games. a ranked mode so the hardcore gamers are happy. Well, there's the timer. Show timer. Look, you can show a timer. So now it's over here, and you can see that I've been playing this level for almost 20 minutes. But the thing with this kind of game is the timed mode isn't that interesting, because once you've played a level, you memorize where everything is, and it's just a case of kind of memorizing where all the items are and seeing how quickly you can click them all. Which maybe some people will like that, but I don't know. I don't think it's. But anyway, if you want it, it's there. You can time yourself, and you can share your scores with your friends. This is a lot of people are telling me that they're looking forward to this game as well as Mutagenics. I think Mutagenics is probably going to do really well. Sounds like they're getting a lot of it for it. So good for them, but I am a little bit jealous. Oh, that game sounds like they put a crazy amount of work into. They've been working on it for like a long time. And I think their team's quite a few people as well now. Ever thought of trying 3D stuff? Not really. I don't see the. I think making 3D graphics looks good is unreasonable. Like, it would take longer. I think game development is time consuming enough already. Though I know a lot of 3D games kind of use a lot of stock assets to speed things up. But still, I don't see the learning new stuff at this point. Oh, nor do I don't really want to do it. People would be confused. My game's suddenly different. Especially if it's not even done particularly. You're like, why did you switch your good 2D art for crappier 3D art? And there's plenty of game devs that have tried that, criticized for it. Well, I know where this is. Interact with 8 types of cubical objects. Why am I still missing? Yeah, you should play the game. The demo's free on Steam, and the game's coming out in March. And the demo's got quite a lot of content, so even that will keep you busy for maybe 4 or 5 hours. So quiet. Oh yeah, sorry. I turned all the music stuff so you could listen to. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, the background music is kind of optional depending on how much ambience you want. This level's supposed to be played during the day. I kind of use cheats to make it dark, so all the cats are acting like, Middle of the day. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's move on. There's quite a lot of like trivia about what actually went into making the game, but a lot of it's not too detailed, but it gives you some idea of the process. Town has a good nightlife. Yeah, pretty much. Alright, we can start World 2. I'm curious to see what this actually looks like at night, because I don't know if I actually tested this one. Pretty spooky. There's no light at all. Even in here. I'm gonna change it back to the day. Go. Typed in meow to delete the cheats, and now we're back to normal. Maybe I'll put in thunderstorm actually. Alright. There we go. The game seems to have slowed down a bit. You probably can't tell, but the frame rate's a bit lower now. I wonder what did it. Maybe too many cheats.
Meow meow. Meow meow.
There he is.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, one last thing to show off, I guess. Spot the difference. Well, there's a decent amount of these levels in the final game, but the demo doesn't really feature very many of them, just this one. Because I kind of wanted to make sure that players got familiar with the main mechanics first. But yeah, it's a bit different now. Now you have to spot the differences instead of looking at items on the list. I think people quite like this one because it was different, but there's definitely going to be more of these. And if people really like them, then maybe I'll add even more later. But I tried not to overdo it with the spot the difference levels because I didn't know if they would be as fun as the original. That's a strange pigeon. I'm pretty new to Epic Battle Fantasy. I downloaded EBF5 because I heard there was a Madness combat reference in the game. Is that all you heard about it? It's not a big reference, but it is there. Here's some more art. For once, the cat, the mascot, is not a collectible item. He's just there watching. Frog. Sneaky pigeon. Are they the same? Nope. Alright, what have we got in here? That one shrimp. This dog is wrong. This is hard mode, by the way, in case you haven't heard that earlier. So this is as hard as the game gets. Well, there are bigger levels, but this is the hardest difficulty setting. So normal and easy are a little bit easier than what you're seeing. Recommend the sniper mode. Really fun. Maybe I'll show that off a little bit. What have we got left? Let's see. One more items. There's one. I remember too many things. There was something small here. Yep. Maybe something over here. what is the last one? Alright, I'm gonna use a hit. Why not? Oh, this thing. Yeah, I forgot about it. Oh well. Yay! Alright, last thing. Let's try the gun. A lot of helpful cursors. This one. Special max hints increased to 15. That's kind of handy. So some of the cursors actually have helpful effects. Not that you really need it. Like, the game's not super hard and already gives you a lot of hints, but it's there if you want it. Oh wait, there's also drawing. I'll try that later. But yeah, everyone wanted to see this, so I can show you how. I'm gonna change my cat to something. Let's see. Camel cat. Gun time. Get as much score. Well, there is a scoring system. That's true. Very sad news for you. Truth be told, this is the final level in the demo. Will I be releasing the soundtrack like previous games? No, this game doesn't have a custom soundtrack. It's got a few songs commissioned for this game, but only a few. A lot of it is music that already existed before. The cake mount cursor was fine too. Yeah, I mean, there's that. You can have a cake instead. So now you can give the cats what they want, and it's the sweet's release of death. Oh, I can't shoot these guys? Really? Oh, you're late. Yeah, well, I think we're winding down a bit. I'm just showing silly stuff now. Oh, their tennis rackets just kind of float in the air. That's funny. But totally understandable. This is what gamers want. Yeah, I think so. It is an option. Oh, there's a sticker. Somehow the kitten game returned. Yeah, pretty much. Not even the bees are safe. Yep. Messed up my combo. Oh, can't shoot him. But I can shoot fish. Well, I think that's a reasonably okay score. Got almost there. I'll take it. That'll do. The crab should have defended. Being violent will increase your lance hearts. Wow. You don't know how to shoot with the cursor? Well, I'll let you figure it out. Yeah, I'm curious to see if people actually try to get high scores like this, or if it's just too silly. I mean, I guess the hard part is trying to memorize what's actually shootable and what isn't, because it's not very consistent. Like, why can't I shoot the tape? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, everyone's dead. That's how it goes. So we can try something maybe a bit more friendly in the next level. So Mattress, I see you found the gun. The others didn't like that idea, but they don't know that I programmed it. How will right-clicking work on mobile? I actually don't know. Maybe this feature won't be in there. Hard to say. Or maybe it'll just be like, maybe both will just be mapped onto the one type of click. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out later. Or maybe there'll just be a button that toggles in between the two. Let's see. What's the progress? 4 points for Lance, and I think a bunch of that is from Gun and for playing on hard mode. A lot of people don't know this because I don't really tell anyone, but you have to come to the medals menu to collect your prizes. So I might clarify that later. Collecting money isn't very urgent, it's just a kind of byproduct of playing the game. As you can see, there's quite a lot of achievements. Some of them are quite hard. I think the hardest one in the demo will be, where is it? Here somewhere. Oh, it's no, not here? Maybe it's not here. Maybe I disabled certain achievements. Oh no, I was just looking at the wrong part. Gaming to go. Yeah, that's one of the harder ones in the demo. Activate 15 handheld gaming devices in level 1-6. But it's not that hard compared to the ones that come later. It's just like little miscellaneous things to do in not every level, but little miscellaneous side quests that you can't use any hints for, so that makes them trickier. Will this game have extra content for the amount of medals you have? Not really. It just gives you currency if you collect the medals. But, well, that's not entirely true. You do get something if you collect all the medals. You get a special feature that's a bit silly. Will there be a gallery to see dialogue? No, there's nothing like that. But you can go to the delete menu and reset all the dialogue. So if you want to see dialogue again, you go here and you delete all the conversations and have them all again. It's not, I mean, maybe it's not what everyone wants, but it's, I think, the closest thing you're going to get to that. And of course you can reset just your name if you want to change it to something else. Hold on. That would be a good time to pick a new name. Hey, it looks like we're missing some information about you. There's a few things I need to know. See, he's got Alzheimer's, so you gotta type in a new name. I can only think of very inappropriate things. Let's see. Dogbert. There we go. Oh, you're playing on your Steam Deck with the touchscreen. Yeah, that's tricky. I don't really know how I'm gonna handle right-clicking on a touchscreen. But when I do figure that out for mobile, I will probably include it in the PC version as well, because obviously, yeah, it would be useful to have on Steam Deck. I think yeah, I think you'll just have to use, like, what is it, a trigger button or something for right-click on the Steam Deck. Anyway, you've seen most of the demo, I think. Now all that's left is for you to actually go to Steam and play the demo yourself, and to add it to your wish list, and to tell your friends and family about it. Are those gunshots I'm hearing over there? Dog births? What's happening? Just balloons. Ah. Let's see, what have we got left? Oh, yeah, I can show you the drawing. I'll draw something. Let's do it. Go back to level 1. Let's... Actually, let's make him a pirate. I'm trying my best to draw with the mouse. Supposed to be gold coins? I don't know if it looks convincing. You thought it was P? Yeah. Well, maybe we can add P. Why not? There we go. Much better. Is this what you wanted? Oh, you want to make it stinky as well. There you go. And this cat, he's just sitting there. He's cool. Let's give him a fish. Kinda looks like a fish. I don't know. Not great at drawing fish from memory. But yeah, you can have a lot of fun with this, and some people draw some pretty intricate stuff. Like it's kinda like oh, it's like the old version of MS Paint basically. You just gotta do what you can with a simple brush tool, simple colors, and your mouse, basically. Alright, I'll try to do something funnier. What I like to do with cats is this. Here's the hard part. I need to have a really steady hand here. Draw a circle with the mouse, it's impossible. Close enough. Anyway, that's how the drawing tool works. So I encourage you to try it out and to post your creations online somewhere, maybe on the EBF Discord. Hopefully, once the game's out, people can use the Steam screenshot feature to share all of their weird stuff. Well, hopefully they don't share anything too weird, but I think Steam's already got rules against that, so you'll probably get banned if you do. Oh, it's not really my problem. I think anyone can report that kind of thing. The way the drawing layer over them reminds me of the blind effect from EBF 1 and 2. Yeah, I guess so, yeah. The drawing tool, like the number 2 line size, that's supposed to be the same size as the line in the game. So you can make it look like it's part of the level, basically. That didn't look good. Good enough. There's an art stream now. Ah, I guess so. Well, I'll tell me what to draw and I'll try to make a quick attempt at it, I guess. Draw a silly stick man. Plants his hat. Apple. I'll go with the stick man, I think. Go. Well, the entire capital of Spain. Animation versus anime. Well, I mean, stickmen are the way to go. They're easy enough. This guy's sleeping or dead, I don't know. Guy up here. Is there any cats with a lack of legs appearing in this game? Not really. Most of them have legs. Slice of cake is poison. There we go. Oh, I mean, yeah, it could be poisonous. Look. There we go. That's not very happy. There we go. Yeah, no legs isn't exactly in this. He's just got legs now. Is there a mobile? Yeah. There's a APK for Android on the itch.io page, but it's not quite as up to date as this version. And I'm kind of focusing on Steam first. I'll worry about the mobile version later. There we go, perfect. This is a work of art. Anyway, I'm probably gonna go get dinner or something, so I think this is a good place to end the stream. It's been 3 hours and 20 minutes, so I think that's long enough. Sorry if you missed the start. I was a bit more talkative back then, but I got pretty tired. You can always go back and watch it anyway, and I think you probably should go back and watch at least the beginning, so you can get a bit more information about the game. But anyway, go play the demo on Steam, buy the game when it comes out in March, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope this stream was entertaining. I might do this again soon, but I'm gonna focus on I'm gonna focus on debugging the game and seeing if there's still any issues and just polishing everything off. And maybe I'll try to get the game out on Newgrounds as well soon. So it's still gonna be a busy month before the release. Alright, see ya.